Hi guys, welcome back to our Maine homestead. So on our last building vlog, you saw that we started working on the fascia boards for the front eave of the roof. And I'm happy to say that we've gotten all of the perimeter of the roof trimmed out. So we are working on some chimney stuff. Eddie actually is currently on the phone ordering all of our roofing material. So all of the like metal trim edges, the soffits, the roofing panels, the ridge caps, all of the things. And recently he actually put in an order for all of our tongue and groove wall boards as well. So we should be getting all of that beginning to middle of next week, and I'm so excited to get done with the roof and start working on something else. So let's just see where the next couple of weeks take us, and we are excited to share more of our building adventures with you guys. So I think you guys can see the chimney pretty well there from this view. As you can see, we did build an extension onto the chimney to bring the edge of it, the side of it, the front of it, whatever you want to call it, closer to the peak of the house, so that by the time we put all of the sheathing on there and then the siding, the stone siding on it, it will actually, just by a hair, I think, overhang the peak of the roof, which means that during the winter times we won't have any snow accumulation between the peak and the chimney itself. It's all just going to slide down the front of the roof there. So that was something that we did recently because we realized that we didn't want snow accumulating there. So
I just got off the phone with our metal guys who are Amish, and it's amazing. I'm not going to talk bad about anyone, but I'm going to talk really good about these guys. It's incredible. I called them Friday mid-morning, ordered all the metal. It's like, it's not a huge house, but it's all the metal trim, metal flashing, all the things that go into putting a metal roof on, all the ridge cap, all the vented foam closures, all those things. And I called them Friday mid-morning, and I just called them this morning. This is Monday morning. I just called them, and it's all ready. So they don't work on Saturdays. Obviously they don't work on Sundays. So they finished it between the time I called them on Friday and maybe they finished cutting it and getting it ready this morning. But like, that doesn't happen in hardly anywhere except the Amish. Anyway, so we're about to go get that, but before we do, I thought we'd give you a real quick update on kind of where we're at. I think you saw the fascia and rake trim that we got put on. So we just put one row of the paper, the protection for the OSB, before we put the metal directly on top of that. But we did, we framed in our chimney, we got everything. We got the chimney support box mounted on the inside of the chimney, and so I just closed in permanently 3 sides of the chimney, and this back side I just screwed it on, and then put a temporary top on. It'll have a black metal top that matches the roof on top of it. But I just screwed on these back panels because I've got to get back in there and insulate around the outside of the box that's in there, and then there's insulation that actually goes inside the box around the chimney pipe. But we just put a temporary top to keep the rain out. It rained really hard last night, so you know, as soon as you do something like that, it rains. But hopefully in the next day or two we will be putting metal roof on the building. comes out and gets a little humid as soon as you start working. Natural look. Of course, we'll have some rooms that have some dry walls in them with some. Start to dust every time it rains when you're trying to work. But you gotta have it. Alright, let's get these and get that last thing. You got time? I will go down the wall. I'm moving my world from here to there. Hey, I love you. Can you wave at Dada with your foot? Can you wave at that with that at Dada? Wave with your foot. Well, how many feet is this? 46 plus. So 48 would be 12.
So Eddie's upstairs right now on the second floor, and he is rolling out some of the paper that we're gonna start putting on the front of the roof. So the last layer of paper, the last thing that needs to be done before the metal starts going up on the roof. And as you could see a second ago, I have been planing and sanding a couple of 4x6s that are gonna be a window frame for the bathroom. So those will be kind of our test pieces. We're gonna go fit them in there and check our window out, be sure that everything looks right, is what we want. And then we're gonna start putting up some framing members and tongue and groove. So we've got our walls here. So exciting. Always very exciting whenever we're gonna be moving on to new projects.
Got finished putting the second layer of paper on the roof. We're building what's kind of a hybrid double roof. So we papered over the top of the tongue and groove, of course, and that kind of gives you a waterproof barrier on the tongue and groove. And then once we built up the insulation and strapped it and put a layer of OSB on it, then I just finished putting the second layer of the same stuff on the top of the OSB, and that helps protect the OSB. If any moisture gets in there, it's going to kind of just run off that paper. You do it in a shingle fashion the same way we did it before. That space below that is the ventilation area, so if any water does get in that to the OSB, it'll dry to the inside because there's 1.5 inch space on the inside underneath the OSB. Anyway, so we're done with that. Thank goodness, my thighs are killing me. So now we're putting up the eave trim or fascia trim. So it's pretty simple. We had this from our Amish metal friends. We had them bend this to the pitch of our roof. So this is 35.5 degrees. And so it just sits, it's windy, you don't want to stand up, but it just sits on the roof like this, and then this piece is straight up and down. And then we had them custom make this because it's very inexpensive for them to do anything like that. So it's got a hem all the way down it, which strengthens it, number one, but it also gives you a place to slide each piece into each piece. So I just took a screwdriver and pried this apart. We do a 2-inch overlap. So this is going to overlap the piece that's already up there. And then on this end, we cut a 2-inch angle piece. So just kind of, it doesn't have to be pretty, you're just angling it. So the next piece will fit on it just like the hem where I pried the hem open on the other end. The next piece, that hem just slides right on there and stops wherever you want it to, just so you hide the cut. And that gives you a good overlap and gives you a good seal that keeps water out. So it's pretty simple process.
So we got all of our trim put up on the back eave, and we are ready to start putting up some panels. So exciting.
So this is butyl mastic tape, so it's made of butyl, some kind of rubber, super sticky. But we're just putting a layer on top of our eave trim here, and then once we get our panel where we want it, we reach under and peel the top strip off. This paper backing, it's double-sided, super sticky, rubbery, gooey, but it'll form a really good seal at the bottom of our panels down at the eave. And it also helps once we get our panel in place, somebody puts a good hand on one end and we reach under and pull the sticky off, push it down, and it holds the panel in place. Probably don't even need screws.
Psych.
And also, once we have all the panels on, the plan is to come back along where this strip is and put a screw at each rib area where screws are already in line with the others, but go through the mastic. And we'll also use this to flash the chimney. We'll use it on the rake trim, the gabled end trim, just to give everything a good seal. My handy dandy measuring stick. So I've never done a roof like this. Watched some videos and read about it a lot. A lot of people will run a string line down their panels and snap a chalk line, and then that's what they'll use to keep their screws in line. I didn't want to do that, so I made a little stick with the measurement from the end up to the first screw, and then 24 inches between each screw. So then it just sits on the screw before it. Put my screw in, good to go. Some people also, when the panels are on the ground, they'll pre-drill their holes, but I've got self-tapping screws. You can see they go in pretty easy, so no need for that either. Should work. So we just measured, so I hate when this rope goes crap. Feels like I'm falling. Take two. So after we got on this side of the chimney, it was time. We only had about 3 or 4 panels left to the end of the house, so we wanted to take a measurement from the end of the house to the end of the last panel and see how far we off. So we measured the bottom, and then we took the same distant measurement at the top, and miraculously they turned out exactly the same. What was the number?
123.5.
Yeah, so I was kind of shocked, but perfect. Over the length of 35, 38 feet so far, spot on. So can't ask for a whole lot more. So if the numbers hadn't been the same, then we would have had to shrink up whichever was the longer number. We'd had to start shrinking panels on that edge, and then start stretching out the panels at the other edge. Thankfully, we don't have to do that, but you might get to see us do that on the front.
Okay, you guys are catching us at the end of the day, so we look a little hot and tired and sweaty and just a mess, but we are putting up the last roofing panel for today. We have one and a partial panel that still needs to go on the back of the house here, and then tomorrow, hopefully after we get those up, we'll start working on the front of the roof. So we're going to be doing trim board, or the metal trim. We're gonna be doing the panels. And then, you know, after that, we'll start doing rake trim, ridge cap, start working on the chimney, all of that good stuff. And hopefully one day soon, we'll be off this roof. We are both ready for the roofing process to be done and start working on walls and windows and doors and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna wrap up this video. We will see you guys back next time to continue working on roofing stuff. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, leave any questions in the comment section below, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.